So as I was telling, the Django is a web development framework, web framework based on top of Python. So the way how you have Python, similarly you have frameworks for most other programming languages. Okay, for most of the frameworks. So for example, Node.js is very popular for Java script-based applications. Java itself has Java Spring, Spring Boot, Spring MVC, multiple variations, flavors of a Spring. So we will be looking at Django. So we have already started looking at this, and we have gone through many of the lessons in this topic. We'll be today looking at associations. So we will be looking at 3 or 4 concepts things. One of thing is going to be associations, okay, and then will be the URLs, how to connect the URLs, query URLs, and after that I believe, yeah, this API stuff is there, and then the static file is there. Okay, so um, uh, yeah, so let's get started. So I think probably I would just be kind of guiding you on the lesson, and we'll be then opening the breakout room, and then you can follow. So is this the same lesson you finished in your actual web dev bootcamp? Is it the same lesson?
I think it is. The Django lessons that were taught in the full stack was the Pokemon API, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So I think the lesson is also same. Okay. So pretty much it is just a revision, and I will try to be quick. And can someone tell me what is the status of your web dev bootcamp? Are you like in your group project or still personal project?
They're in the group projects. They have 2 weeks left, I believe.
Okay. So you have 2 weeks left to finish your group projects, correct? Okay.
And
Okay.
some of us are still finishing up things like assignments and personal project, and that would be me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So I think pretty much we'll be doing this. That probably we will have an hour, a half an hour of the go through of this lesson, because we have already seen this lesson. You have already seen this, and we'll open the breakout room, and I will then help anyone individually if you need help. Otherwise, you can continue working on your personal project or anything you are running behind from your uh, Whiskey Platoon bootcamp. Okay. Um, yeah, so let's start talking with Django associations. Okay, so essentially, this lesson is going to talk about how can we create relation between different models, different tables, different databases. Okay, so Django has different variations of this, different types of this, and for this, we'll be creating a new application here. Okay. So you will go and create a new application, and you have already created this. Okay, you have already created this before, but still I will be creating, and I will try to explain the concept that this lesson talks about. Essentially, we will be creating models, and we will try to establish relation between different models. That is essentially different tables, so that you can query data based on them, and you can maintain the integrity of the data which is inserted in the table using foreign key keys. So we'll be talking about 3 types of association. One is one-to-one, another one is foreign key, another is many to many, which helps us to maintain the integrity of application. And you have already seen this Poco one example. We'll still try to see this. Okay. So with that, I think that sounds a good plan. Or does anyone does anyone have any feedback? Or if you feel that no, this lesson we have already gone through, we should simply just, you may want to just work on this directly, we can do that as well. I will be very, very light touch on this otherwise. Okay. 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 So let me just give a very light touch on this. Okay. And I will just go through this lesson then. Okay. So what we'll be doing here is I have already prepared some of the stuff so that we can save some time in learning. One of that is the database. So I'm using Docker-based database. Okay. So for this particular application, I will go and create the application. Okay. In fact, first I need to create the project itself. Correct. And serializer, move model. That. Okay. Let me see if I have this. Okay. Yeah. So this is the move application it is going to talk about. Okay. So this is the same project you have built before. I will just go and go through and explain the concepts for revision. Okay. So what we have done here is we have created a project already that is with the name Pocodex project. Okay. So this is the project we have created. Okay. And once that project is created, we have created an application here. Okay. Python manage.py, we created application move app. So this is the move app application we have created. The moment you create move app application, you will get this basic, the standard code that the Django already provides you. Okay. So this we have gotten. And after that, you will go and add this add the application you created inside your project, and that you do inside installed apps. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. By ourselves. So let me close all of this. Let's just keep the database here. Okay. And what I would do is make that Django class. I will create. I'll go to class and right. How do you start a new project? See what is the command for this? Okay, so we will be using this command Django create project. Okay, yeah. So the command is this Django, right? This is the command, correct? I haven't used this command before. Let's see. Django create new.
You're trying to start a brand new project?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it Python -m and then Django and then start project and then the name of the project?
Right.
I never have to do any of that. I just do Django -admin space start project and then space whatever the name of the project like it is in that.
Right. I think both of these are the different ways of doing it. Let's use this one. So we'll start a new project. Okay. And again, I will try to be quick on this and we'll give this project this name. Okay. Focus project. So this way we have created the project here. Okay. And in this project, we have gotten the manage.py. Okay. And using this, we'll first go and start a project here. The command for this is python manage.py start. Okay, so those who have not done this before, please do this. if you have done this already, well, you can follow, and you can in fact help me if you have done this before. Okay. So now we will have this created. Okay. So we can go to next project. Okay. And here we will first of all create a virtual environment. Okay. So Python 3 -m VNV VNV. I just spelled this. Yeah. Okay. Source VNV activate. Okay. And we'll create we will go ahead and now we'll create a requirements.txt. Okay. This is the place we'll put all the dependencies. So I know that we definitely need Django. So I'm going to put a Django here, and I will put here pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay. And this way it will install Django for us. Not sure if I need to give pip3. Okay. Okay, so we have gotten the this installed. Django is the main framework that we need. So once that is installed, we will go ahead and we'll create a new project called new app. So we'll go and run this one. And again, did I deactivate? So when activate install -r requirements.txt. And okay, there is something has gone wrong with this project. So let me remove this. And I know what has gone wrong probably. I will give this one Django admin start project. Project name was Poptex. Poptex. And I will first of all create Python 3 mvenv env. So we bin activate and right. Okay. Now we'll go and create a requirements.txt. Okay. And we'll first of all put the dependency here. Okay. So this way it will install Django for us. And once Django is installed, we will then go and create the application. So the application is move app. Okay, so we are going to create a move app. Okay, and so you can see the move app application is created. So whenever you create a new application, you have to go and add that in your list of installed apps. So I will go here and I will add here move underscore app. Okay. So you have installed the application. And now we will go and create this models. Okay. So this is models. So in this move app, here we have models. Okay. So you can go ahead and this is models.py. You can go ahead and you can put the models there. So essentially this is just the move which has 3 attributes, in fact 4 attributes. One is the name of the move, one is accuracy, and then is this PP. I am not sure what this PP stands for, and this is the power of the move. Okay. And then you have validators.py. Okay, so this is the file we will be creating for validators, and this will validate the files. So these are the 2 files we got. After this, we have to connect this to the database. Everyone following with me, right? You have already done this, I believe. So whatever I'm doing, you should already be kind of just should be a flashback. But those who are not who have done this before, then please follow this. And this is the place I'm going to add the database. Okay. So what I would do is I would create a database in server. Okay. So I have created this server. I will create here the database. I'll give it name. Give it the name. What is the database name it has given? Okay, I'm not sure what is the name it has given, but essentially, let's give it. Let's see what I was giving last time. I was giving the.
Was it Pokédex underscore DB?
Yes, Pokédex DB. Okay, so I will go ahead and create this Pokédex DB. And only thing is, I will add here CP class. Okay, so that I know that I've created this in the class. Yes, and thank you, Nika. So let's go ahead, and what I would do is, this is probably something you may want to look at. Okay, even if you have gone through before, is that I'm going to use environment variables. If you have not used environment variables before, this may not have been very important for you before. Okay, but from the DevOps perspective, it is very important, very, very essential. In fact, in Ansible, one of the big lesson is going to be on Django itself. You'll be taking the Django app and you will be deploying that on multiple servers. Okay. So again, I look at these things, these lessons from DevOps perspective. And again, web dev is not my domain right now. Okay. So I'm going to probably draw your attention to those areas for sure. What matters essentially from DevOps perspective. So this, what you are saying here, this is very essential if you want to deploy this application on the servers. Why? Because this is where you are giving the environment variables. And this is important because right now what you have done, you directly go and give the value here. If you are not, okay? Or you would be using SQLite, okay, which is the local testing DB. But that you cannot put in the production, right? In production, you have to actually use in the server, you have to use actual database, which is reliable, which is scalable. And for that reason, we'll be using PostgreSQL. Okay. So if you see here, by default, it will suggest me to use this one, SQLite, for quick development. In fact, there is an option to enable this development or production. So you can write your configuration in such a way that it will check is in production or local. If it is local, it will use SQLite. If it is in production, it will use Postgres. So let's use the actual DevOps practice, and that is going to be, we will go and replace this database configuration. Okay. Yes, Nika?
You said that we should not use SQLite for production.
Yes.
Why exactly would you not use that?
Okay, yeah. So
I don't
SQLite,
understand.
yeah, perfect. And it's a very good question. In fact, this is the question I wanted to draw your attention to, because I know that this lesson is already you have gone through. So I'm still trying to draw your attention to the important pieces which matters from DevOps perspective. So what SQLite is? SQLite is essentially a small file. Okay, it's a small file document-based database, which is, if you create the database, it will look, you can see that file here. Okay, SQLite file here. And that SQLite file actually is compatible with Postgres. So what happens is, whatever query you want to do on top of an actual Postgres server, that local database that is based on SQLite is also compatible. So it enables a faster development process for you. So let's say you are a developer, you want to start a new application. You don't have to worry about creating a new server. You don't have to worry about having a Postgres, having a user, having proper access on the tables and rows and permissions. You don't have to worry. What you need to worry is that you have a database which is compatible. Let me develop the application. Once application development is done, then I will connect it to the actual real server. So let's say you are going to do the development, you can start with this. Once your development is done a bit, your migrations are ready, okay? Keep that ready. Then you actually switch to the actual database. That is the server-based database, okay? And this server-based database has multiple benefits. And that is the reason we cannot use SQLite. One of that is that it is not on the same server. So even if the application server goes down, your database is actually on the different server, that is the database server. So your data remains safe, because application doesn't matter. Application can go down, up, data matters, right? Because with data, you can again create a new server and log in again. If the data is lost, everything is lost, right? So first thing is that data safety. Second is then you can think that, okay, maybe the database server can also go down. That may happen, but generally doesn't happen. Reason being, every database server, okay, so in fact, let me show you this. RDS replication, okay. So what happens is that in databases, what happens is that you have database configuration like this, okay. So every database that you create in AWS, okay, in RDS, those databases have three replicas by default, I believe, okay. So one is your writer node. So this is where you do all the writes, read as well, write as well, but reader nodes will be more, because generally you do more reads. So this database will have two replicas here. So even if this master database, which is the writer node, goes down, one of this reader node will be made the master node, the writer node, and your application can still working. Okay. So first thing was the data safety, the security, that data is persistent. Second thing is the scalability. As more number of users come, you have more replicas of the database created. So you can still serve the higher number of requests coming. Okay, that is the second. Third is security. If your data is in SQLite, then you know that file is right here on the server. Anyone can go and copy the file and get the same data. Everything will be in his hands. If you put this in a remote server, person would need extra privileged and accesses to go in that server, which you will not have generally, right? So for these many reasons, you always put the production data in actual database servers. Okay, I hope this clears.
Yeah, that was really helpful. I guess I wasn't really understanding what SQLite was, so I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. It kind of just sounds like you don't want to make everything I don't know, monolithic. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay. So this is the database. Now, you may think, why are we going to use environment variable? I think you might have used already. Can someone confirm? Have you used environment variable before? You have used, right? Okay, cool.
A few times we have, yes.
Okay. So what happens is that if you hard code the values, in the runtime, your application will just pick that value. Okay. So you have to actually go and change in the code base that we don't want to do. We want to keep it configurable. So for that reason, we have concept of environment variable. You set the environment variable and pick the value directly coming from the environment variable. Okay. In this case, we don't want to complicate, though we will do later. Okay. In DevOps lessons. Okay. Is that I would just give the environment variable, but I will just use the default value right now. Okay. So this is the way it will pick the default value. So I am going to the database we just created. Okay. We will just use that database here. Okay. So I have this database here. Username, password, everything will remain the same. Now to support environment variable, I need to do some import. So I will go ahead and do some import. And to use this one, I would need this dependency. So I would use python.env. Okay, this is the library where that I can actually use environment variable in my application. So you can see that now it is not complaining. I can go and run this install once again. So it will go and install the dot environment variable for me. Okay. So with this, my environment variable is ready. Okay. So if everything was okay, actually, we can actually run Python and server. Okay. Now we have used database PostgreSQL, right? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So what I was talking about is that we have this application ready, but we are using PostgreSQL now. So we need a library which will help us to connect with the Postgres database. So for that, we have this library. Okay. So we will again go and run this requirements. And you can see that our application has actually started. So it is now in the running phase, running state. What we can now do is we can actually create migrations. I hope everyone knows what is this. Make migrations, sorry. Make migrations. And you can then write migrate. Okay. And this will go and create the migrations for you. Now, if you want to see this, then we can go and connect this to the SQLite database. And we know that this is the table we created. Username will be Chandra and pass. No, username is, let me see, what is the username we have put? So username is Postgres only, password is Chandra123. So it will be Postgres and Chandra123. Let me test the connection. This looks good. So we have gotten this table here. So if you go here, you can actually see your tables here. Okay. So these are the tables you have created. Okay. This also creates the model that you created. So this model we created, move this model, you can see here the table. Okay, so before these things were in regime, what we used to do is we used to actually run MySQL queries to create the tables. Okay, I have done that. We have done that actually in production servers. You would run the SQL queries. Okay, that has its own pros and cons, but this is better way to handle your models. And I see many questions on chat. Let me see questions. Oh, there were people who are trying to help me. Thank you so much.
There's one question that kind of earlier on, Chandra, and the students are just wanting to know if they need to get their AWS cert done by a specific day because they're still working on projects and whatnot.
yeah.
They have a little leeway.
Oh yeah, I saw that question now. Okay, I think that definitely I would highly, triple highly recommend all of you to get your certifications before the AWS module. So if you see the way how our days are, in fact, we will be starting AWS right here. Your graduation is on 11th, is it?
So
It's
it's
on
on
the
the
10th.
10th.
Okay.
Is it enough that we've gone over the material to pass the cert, but may not have taken the test yet? Because like I've gone over the material, I feel pretty comfortable with like the general knowledge. I just don't think I have it fine-tuned for the test yet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So so thing is that no, you are not ready yet. Till you have not finished that course, you're not ready to take the course, take the cert. And if you do not pass the cert, Code Platoon will not reimburse you for that cert cost. It will only reimburse you for the cost when you actually pass. So I think that there is enough, that reason that you should probably prepare yourself well before taking the cert. So I think I might have some sample tests somewhere. Let me see if I can send you some sample questions, something. But that can probably help you prepare for that cert. But essentially, the material so far is not enough. Okay. AWS cert has many. In fact, let me finish this lesson probably today. I will try to finish the lesson today itself, right now in the forenoon, in afternoon probably. I can go and talk about the cert if you want. Okay, I can guide on that. And but this cert is very important because all of this that you see, this AWS EC2, RDS, IAM uses Route 53, VPC, and everything. The Lambda, ILB, there are tons of lessons on this. They all are level 2. Level 1, you have to learn yourself from that course, from that cert. And cert becomes a method for you to actually take those lessons and finish them. So I will highly recommend all of you to finish that course, get the cert, and come to the lesson. It is not like that you have not passed the cert, we will not let you take the class. That's not the case at all. You will definitely take the class, but expectation could be that many of the things you may probably not understand well. For example, what is RDS? I will go and talk about what is RDS, but I will not be talking about what is zone, what is replication, what is availability zone and all. You may need to know that already. Okay. Highly recommended, but well, not like critical that you cannot continue, not like that, but highly recommended everyone. Okay.
So Chandra, would you say that for the folks that are don't have a lot of time right now, that if they don't get it done by say like the first week, they could focus on getting it done the second or third week? I think they're kind of just looking at like a date that they'll feel comfortable with.
Well, I would recommend that, I could say that maybe 15th May is the date when you should have it. By 15th, if you ideally is that you should have it by 6th, but I know it's super short time and you had your own commitments from your boot camp. But still, I feel that this may be still an okay timeline. Okay.
I will say it's like the test is kind of tricky, but at the same time, I'm not super great with tests. I'm okay with tests, and I was able to pass it. I failed the first practice exam I did, so it's not this huge thing where you're going to need to spend months. Or I think I spent 2 weeks studying for it, and I was able to pass. So I got some study material, and Michael actually made a custom GPT that's for studying specifically for the cloud practitioner. He took in a file and made a document that the GPT uses to teach, like ask you questions, and I'll help anybody if they're interested. So anyways, I'll be quiet now.
Definitely. No, I think that sounds interesting to me, Chad. In fact, we can probably talk about this. I think Chad has some resources. I had also created once a test sample. I created 2 or 3 test series once. So I can probably share that, and probably we can talk again maybe next week sometime. I will try to share that resource. Okay. But everyone will pass. Don't worry about that. You may not be able to pass or something. Only thing is that if you pass early, well, it is good for us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that it is clear that it is not make or break. In fact, I will check with Julius as well if he thinks it is make or break. But I believe it is not make or break. You can continue with the lesson, but get it by 15th. Okay. All right. Any other question, Chad, which you think I should address them?
Not that I can think of. Does anybody have any questions?
No? Okay. Okay, so it seems that probably everyone understands there's a stuff, so I can probably pass faster on this. In fact, I can probably just talk about the concepts probably, and I may probably leave you with the lesson. Okay, anyway, so yeah, okay, so this is an hour, okay? So let's go for 10 minutes break once we return from the break, and then I will continue, okay? All right, see you in 10 minutes. Okay, if everyone is here, I would start. Okay, so we were just talking about creating the project. We just created the project and we just created the migrations. We created the migrate, and then this is test. So this is move app test. I think there should be move app test. I'm putting the test. Just test this, and we have the serializer. So we'll go and create a serializer. We just mix the data pretty in exchanging data, and that's it. So if we have done, I think this way, then we can actually go and we can write python manage.py shell. This is our Django shell, and here we can, okay, no module REST framework. Oh, we have used REST framework here. Okay, so we need to put REST framework in this as well. So we'll go and put this in here and write install again. Wait, exit, and I'll write install. Okay, so we got the serializer here. Okay, and this is the move serializer, and we are simply going to create a data in this. Okay, so I'm not sure how do you pronounce it. This will be Cinch. How do you pronounce this?
I think it's supposed to be psychic, but
Oh.
they added like an extra H.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, whatever it is. So this is just a move, I believe. So this move we are going to put, and it is just going to check if it is valid. Now this will go and save. Okay. So if this has saved properly, okay, you can actually go and see this. This should actually be reflected, okay, in our data. So we can, not yet. Yeah, so you can see that this data is now saved. Okay, so now we will go and talk about the concepts related to this lesson, and that is going to be the types of association. So if you have learned MySQL, you know that MySQL provides different ways how you can maintain the data integrity. So for example, it has a concept called foreign key. So using foreign key, you can ensure that any data which is associated with the primary table, okay, any data coming in the secondary one, the associated one, always will have some value pointing to the primary table. So like that, also here we have different types. So for example, this is first going to be one-to-one field. Okay, so once you give, so there are two profiles here. This is just, I know that you know this, just a quick revision that one-to-one field, how the way it represents a relation is direct relation between two models. So for example, let's say this is person, this is profile. So every person will have a profile, okay, and every person will have a, every profile will belong to a person. It's like a one-to-one relation. It is not like that one person can have multiple profiles. It's not like that. Okay, so in those cases you will be using one-to-one field. Okay, because it is exactly one. So this means that each profile is associated with only one person. Okay, and then this is called foreign key. This we have seen already in MySQL. So this the way how it builds the relation is that this can be this associated with multiple ones. Okay, so here this model is foreign key. Okay, so in this book there are multiple ones. Okay, so this means that multiple books instances will be associated to a single author. So one author can have multiple books. Okay, so that is the foreign key. So you cannot have any book which has no author. Okay, that's the meaning of it. So this representation normally in MySQL, when you are creating the table, there you write foreign key, right? Here you define that here. And then there is many to many, where there is many to many relation. One of the example is a student and course. So one student can have multiple courses, right? Each course can belong to multiple students as well. So this is many to many relation. So these are the three ways, okay? And there is this option that you can give, that is on delete option, if you have seen. So that means that if you give on delete models less cascade, that means if one of this reference is deleted, okay, one of that is deleted, this project, this particular item, then all the related objects will also be deleted. Okay, so for example, the moment you delete the author, okay, all the books related to the author will also be deleted. Okay, so this is models.cascade. How does it help? It helps in such a way that you can, when there is no author, what is the point of having a book? A book always has an author, right? So for that reason, you will give the relation like this. Okay. And the last one that you need to see this option, that is called related name. Okay. So this will help you to build a reverse relationship between the models. Okay. So the way how it will work is that you will have a person. Okay. So this person and this pet, okay, both of them have relation with a foreign key. So when you give related names is equal to pet, okay, so we can see all the pets owned by this particular user. How? So here we have given related name is equal to pets. So you write, you get a person object, and then you can write person.pets.all. So all the pets, right? All the pets, because this person is connected with a foreign key to pet. So all the pets belonging to this person, all of them can be seen here at once. It is very similar to this one. You can write author.books.all. So we'll get all the books written by this particular author. Right? In MySQL, you would be doing it different way. Right? Here, you can just use this .all. So this way, you can access the values related to both the models. Models is actually the table in MySQL. Just you can give some more conditions and definitions in that. Okay. So for example, you can see that we have to create a Pokemon app as well now, because now you will be seeing the relation between them. So what we will do is, let's go out and let's create a project. Okay. Python manage.py. You write create app, right?
I think it's start app.
Oh, it's a startup. Okay. I have become rusty. I used to do this like long ago. Thank you. And many of these features I'm seeing new actually, which were not there once. So that is also good to see in this latest version of Django. So if I say something that is not possible, that works, please correct me. Because again, this is not my specialization and I'm a bit rusty with this stuff, latest development with Django. So this way we have created this Pokemon app, and we will go and create model here. Okay. So we have this model. Okay. And what we have done here is Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so we are actually importing this move model. Okay, this move model is coming from this move, this one, the other app that we have, and then we have this class Pokemon. Okay, so this class Pokemon, I would need to get the actual model as well. So let me see here, and let me quickly copy from here, Pokemon app. Yeah, so this is the actual model. So actual model was this actually. Okay, this is the actual model here. They want to add these two, actually, the moves. Okay, because it is establishing many to many field, many to many relationship between them. That means every Pokemon can have multiple moves, and one move can belong to multiple Pokemons. Okay, so for that reason we have this, and you can see a related name is equal to Pokemon. So this way you can always do that moves dot dot moves dot move dot Pokemons dot all. So you can get all the moves belonging to a particular Pokemon. Anyway, so with this, let's go ahead and let's many to many relationship we have created. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Models, import move. We got name, move, and label. Fine. So let's go and why do we need to run the migrations again? Because we have made changes in the models. So anytime you make changes in the model, you have to run the migrations. Okay. So I will go and run this migrations, and I will run migrate. Okay. So yes. Yeah, so it has detected. Okay, no changes. Okay. Now what we will do is we will go to the shell again. Okay. And now you can see the benefit of having many to many relationship. So you can see import Pokemon. So we are importing Pokemon. Okay. Oh, we created this app, Pokemon app, but we did not add this in our project. That is very important. So we will go ahead and add this here. Okay, Pokemon app. Then only Django project will identify that as a project. So let me exit it. Right? That's what I was thinking, that what is not creating this? Reason was it was not added in that project, right? So every time you make changes in the model, it should detect it. If it is did not detect, that means you either forgot to add that or there was some issue. Okay. So now you run the migrate and you can see that change is now reflected. So if you refresh this list of tables, you should see this one. Okay. So this is the place, this is the moves ID, and this is the relation we have gotten. Okay. All right. So we will now continue. And quickly, I will just finish this with a quick example on this. Okay. So let's run the shell and let's import the Pokemon. And we can see that we are trying to retrieve a Pokemon with name. Okay. Blessed toys. I don't know. I'm very bad in pronouncing because I haven't been a guy playing with these toys. So let me see what data we have already. So we have should we add some thing in this? We need to insert some data in this, right? ID, name, and label. Okay, so let's say that, let me give it some name. Okay, anyway. Objects.get. So this is our Pokemon. Does someone have some sample data for this? So I'm trying to query this. So I think I can create one, right? Okay. So I can go here and I can write a query, insert into Pokemon app, where name and label. Name. Okay, insert into the values. Okay. And let me generate that. In fact, create generate insert. Okay. Names and label. Name, let me give this as this one. And label, let's give it 1. Let's insert it. So we have gotten the first one. So at least this should work. Okay. And I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong. Can someone tell me if I'm doing anything wrong, or if if I'm getting the relation wrong? Because I'm not familiar with this Pokemon application. So this is a Pokemon, or this is a move? This is a Pokemon only, right?
I think that's a Pokemon.
Yeah, this is a Pokemon only.
I don't know Pokemons, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it
that's the
is.
Pokemon.
That's Pokemon.
Okay. Okay, no
You need
worries.
to get, I know Phil's in here, so Phil can definitely speak to this. He has a full deployed, pretty cool Pokemon
Okay.
app right now.
Yeah, Phil.
Phil
if
can
you-
get you all the seed data and everything. He might not be
Yeah.
listening right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Phil, if you have anything which can help me in continuing this demo, please share. Okay, anyway, so I have gotten this first Pokemon created, and I think that, well, I think what I can do is that move.all, this is empty, and move.add 1. And now I can see that if I this, okay, so I have gotten the first move for this first, okay, first Pokemon. And now if you see, we can take this one, and if we go here, okay, I don't know what is wrong with this. Okay. So we have gotten the first Pokemon created here. This is the move, okay, and this is the relation that you can see. So this is the many-to-many relation that we have created between the Pokemon and the move. So you can see move is a different, okay, table, and Pokemon is a different table, okay. So this Blastoise is probably a Pokemon, okay, and for which is level 1, and for this the move, which move it belongs to. So this move is this one, move number 1, move ID 1, and relation between them has been established with many to many relationship, and that you see being established in this new table. Okay, so that was the whole point of showing this, that you can create a many to many relation between these different tables like this. Okay, so with this many to many relationship now on, we can go and create some serializer. So we can have this serializer here. This is Pokemon app, and let me have some serializer created here. And again, I will just simply go and copy the code. I believe this code should work fine. So this is the serializer we have created. Similarly, there is serializer for move app, and that we have seen here, but it seems it has no stuff. So we got the serializer created, and let's see what we got here. Okay, serializer, and from Pokemon import a Pokemon, and this is what we inserted. Let's see, and let's query the data, and you can see this data is now coming in a very well formatted manner, okay, using the serializer. If you are not having a serializer, you have to format this manually yourself using a dictionary. Okay, that is the whole benefit of using serializer here. So serializer is very important. It's not like that without this an application will not work. Application will work even without it, but it is very important in this case. So you can see that we have gotten this created here, and the important thing is that using this, okay, we are able to not query the Pokemon itself, but also able to query the moves that it belongs to. And the move it has is this one. Okay. So we have created this relation between them. Okay. So that was the lesson on associations. Okay. We saw one of the example using many to many relationship, how it works. We the way how we started, we created a project. Then we created 2 apps. One was the move app. 2 is to create the types of moves a Pokemon can have. Then another project we created, another app we created was the Pokemons. And then we established a many to many relationship between them, which is visible in this particular table. So this relation is very useful in many scenarios. And once you created that, then you insert a data, you establish relationship, you can see the values coming here. This serializer will help you query those values. So these are the different types of association. It seems that the actual project, when it was taught, you might have been given some fixtures, the sample data. Since there is no sample data given here, so I cannot actually import it. But anyway, I think the overall point of this lesson was to understand the association between the different models, the different types of. Okay, so once you understand this, the concept is very similar in all other programming languages as well. Okay, I haven't seen the same thing. I haven't used this concept in Java, Spring or something, but I have definitely used this in Node.js and all. They also have the similar concept. They also have models. You just create the models and you actually interact with the model, not with the database objects. Actually, it is possible to interact with the database objects, right? You might have seen one of the example. I gave you one of that example that was to-do list app. So this application has no models involved. And you know, it is based on very basic, the Flask app. Flask apps are very, very basic. They don't have any kind of many of the plugins or installed applications to help you. They just use the very basic framework it provides. So there you can see that you can you are actually writing the queries. You're writing the create table query. You're actually writing the select star query here, right? Which is also cool. Okay, you should know that. But it's very tough to deal with this in programming languages compared to how you can deal with that the same thing using models. Okay, any questions on this? All right, so I believe that everyone knows these concepts already. So probably I may probably go even shorter and quicker in my reference. Otherwise, we can just see what we have in the plate and we can continue on. Okay, so with this, we have finished this portion on associations. Though association was not in the portion of today's lesson, since it was not taught, so I took over that lesson. Now going forward, we will have a quick look on Django servers, then Django APIs, and Django static files. I believe you already know most of these, so I will quickly be just talking about the concept. And if at all needed, I may show the example, answer any questions. Otherwise, I will leave you to prepare for the certifications or prepare for the project or solve the assignments that you have. So there are assignments in this. So every lesson probably has some assignment given. You can go and finish those challenges. I think challenges are given here. Yeah, this one, the lecture, yeah, there is your assignment. You can work on that. Okay. All right. So does everyone feel okay? Should we continue, quickly finish these lessons? Or okay. If you have any preferred way, feel free to let me know. I follow the vote a lot, very democratic. Okay. In the last in the last boot camp, we totally canceled one of that assessment. Chad can remember, and we took that after New Year because that was coming between the holiday season. Okay, so we do adjust our schedule for keeping those factors in mind. Okay, so feel free to share your opinion if at all if you want. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so Django servers. So this lesson will be incomplete from DevOps perspective because this lesson does not cover the unicorn kind of web servers. I'm not sure you have learned that in your boot camp or not. Can someone remember? Did you use unicorn or not?
We
use-
you go ahead, man.
My bad. Yeah, we use Gunicorn to deploy to an EC2 instance.
Oh, okay, then I think it is good. Then I think probably I don't need to worry about that lesson anyway. Then you're pretty much set for the DevOps lesson, actually. Yes, Lois?
It'd probably be cool to go over that one more time. We covered it once in class, and it was a bit of a hectic lesson. So I think there probably will still be some questions on that one. But I mean, somebody else can speak up if they disagree, but that's my take.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Totally concur.
Oh, really? Okay.
It comes up a lot, Chandra. Even when you did the lesson for me, I had seen it before, but I didn't really understand like multi-threaded and what that meant. And there's several aspects, and we see a lot of unicorn in this class. So
I agree with you 100%. No. So I did not know that there would be significant interest in learning this lesson. So I did not actually prepare for that. So what I can probably do is that GeoNicon, I will try to take this in afternoon. Otherwise, GeoNicon, we will definitely be taking in DevOps lesson again. Okay. So in DevOps lesson, when we are learning Ansible, we'll be learning about using GeoNicon because we'll be using GeoNicon as the wave front, the application front for our backend, the Django backend to serve application. Okay. So I will see, and even if I touch today, I won't be able to do the complete lesson because it will need Ansible. But anyway, I will try to go a bit on this. Okay. Yeah. So let me in fact prepare myself for with the content, and then I will talk about that today. So meanwhile, I think yes, Chad.
I was just going to say it's worth the wait because when you did the lectures for all this, it explained it a lot more for me. I didn't really understand what was going on beforehand, so it's worth the wait.
No, definitely. We will definitely have a look. And I think once you practically use GeneCon using it in DevOps session, you will see the power of it. Okay. So it is going to be a very cool lesson. In fact, as the chat was saying, it is going to be a very hectic lesson as well. I believe that lesson was a straight 3 hours with 1 or 2 breaks. That's all.
There is a lot there. So even if we don't get to it today, like
Yeah.
we see it a lot. It's very cool.
Sure. In fact, I need to prepare myself as well, honestly, as well, with the content, make sure code works. So that is also an aspect. Okay, so I believe pretty much we are just talking about the debug server here right now, not the actual server. So what happens is that whenever you run Python applications, Django-based applications, they use a development server, that is the Django development server. So when you are running this Django create server, okay, sorry, run server. So you write here like this, Python manage.py run server. So the server that it comes with, this is the default. Okay, this is the default Django development server. This you cannot put in production actually, because it has one thing is debugging enabled, another thing is it doesn't have multi-threading, and it doesn't have a scalability and security aspects on that. And this is where Unicorn kind of the wavefront wave servers come in picture. We'll be using that, and we'll probably be taking a lesson probably later. Now what I'm going to talk right now today is going to be the URL patterns and URL paths. I believe 100% that you have gone through these lessons and you have written code using this, but still, I will try to show you some examples on that. So, okay. So this place that you see in this, the Django. So Django has its own standard way of implementing MVC. MVC is the model view controller. So model is the model, the database representation of any object, and view is the place where you write the code for seeing the things, and controller is the place where you actually accept the request. So this is the urls.py. This is where we'll be doing our stuff. So what you can see here is the path we have defined. And in this place, we are going to define some path and see how Django can respond to our queries. It will have just 1 or 2 very basic examples, and let's just see that. So one of the example that you see that already all Django projects by default come with a default pattern, that is the admin path. This is the admin console where you can do some basic stuff like user management, user permission, group permissions, those kind of stuff. So this is the default one. I'm going to show you writing a simple new path pattern using which you can actually make a request and get an HTTP response from Django. So you can see here that we are adding a path here. So this path you add here. So all the path needs to be written like this. Okay. So this is the place you add a path. It also supports importing other path. We will see that later. Okay. This is the URL pattern. Okay. Once you have defined the pattern, what it will assume is that the moment you make a request coming on this path squares, it will call this method, call this function to give you the response. So what that means is that we need to have this defined here. Okay. So let's write a very basic one. And you can see, okay, it needs HTTP response. We need to import this. We have imported HTTP response. And what it will do is that you will make a request and it will give you the response. So, okay, it is not defined. I have defined this
Just need to
one.
get it in your view. Yeah.
Can someone tell me what is going on? It is saying it is not defined.
You need to import it, the method.
Okay. This method is in the same file, in the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Don't you need to add the view in front of square area view as part of the URL pattern? I might be wrong.
No.
Do you have to put it above URL patterns?
Oh yeah, that is Eric, the right thing. So Nika, you are actually correct, and actually Chad was also correct in saying that actually the way how Django expects is that things should be in the view. Okay, if you are using that with a method view, but I'm just showing a quick demo. So I'm putting it here. So what you will have to do is that you will have to put right here. Okay. So now you can see. So to use this, you need to define it before. Okay. So now you can see it is not complaining. And essentially what I'm hoping is that if I go to this path, localhost 8000, and the path that we have given is squares. Okay. Then it will give me the value. Right. And if you curl this on your system, it should. Okay. Really? Can someone tell me what is going on here? It is not giving response and curl. I should give response and curl as well, right?
You need a flag?
Flag?
Maybe not.
No, it's a
I
very
don't think I'm familiar enough with curl to really know right now. I'm sorry.
curl is actually just making the request that you make from the browser. It will make the same request from the machine. So for example, if you write curl -l google.com, it will just open the google.com page in HTML format here. That's the thing. This is what you see in the browser actually. But browser represents this in HTML format, renders it. At least the request is going, but it is giving 301. Anybody? What is 301?
Is 301 saying that something's permanently moved?
Right, so it's permanently moved. So generally in those cases, what you do is you write -l, and here you go. So it is giving you 4. So essentially what is happening, in fact, you will see that here as well. You here. Okay. So essentially what is happening is Django expects you to give actually slash at the end. Okay. If you make a request without slash l, you see, it will not give you the response. It will give you 301. But if you give slash at the end, it will give you the response. And I have been caught in this issue many times. Because, when you're writing curl, you just enter. You don't see that a slash is required here. Right? So essentially, when we gave -L, what happened is that Django is internally, it redirects the request, okay, coming from not/L to going to /L. But if you do not give, it will not do that. So this is the reason we gave -L. Okay. Give me, someone is at the door. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so we just finished creating a simple URL. Okay. Now there is one more request, that is how you can actually pass a value. Because in this case, in this URL, you are not passing any value, right? It was giving the response by default. So in this way, if you add a path like this, you can actually define the format how you need the data. So you can say height is this, and the base is this. Give me the area of the triangle. So you can define that, and you can actually write a function to give you an answer on that. And that function is this method. This is the same thing which is referencing here. It is taking height and the base, and it is using simple triangle formula, height into base divided by 2. This only works for a triangle which has one of the side, one of the angle being 90 degree. Okay, rectangle triangle. For this only this formula works. Okay. So you can go and you can then make a request. For example, this one. Okay. So I can write curl. Okay. And you can see it is giving request 30. So the value was 30 plus 2 into 2 divided by 2. So height was 2, base was 30 divided by 2. So that is actually 30 again. If you, for example, you can query this one using browser as well, and you will get the same value, 60. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with this, we have learned how to write a basic path. Okay. The path pattern. You write a path and then you can query, and you can actually write a function which can do anything. It can calculate data, it can connect to database, get the value, can do anything. But this is not the Django way of doing it. Django always suggests you write this in the standard format of Django. That is that you should have the view. You should actually transfer is to you should redirect the request coming for a particular app to the app itself. Don't handle it here. You mean what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that let's say this request was for Pokemons. You should send the request to Pokemons. Okay. So for that reason, we will be looking at a different lesson that is going to be on Pokemon. This. Okay. So here what we are essentially doing is that we are importing this. Okay. We are including this application. Okay. And if you do this, then it will start sending all the requests coming for this endpoint going to the Pokemons, not actually directly handling it there. Does it sound okay? Okay, so we can go and do this lesson, or we can. Do you want me to cover this lesson, or should I open the breakout room? You can follow this yourself. You would like to follow this yourself.
I am totally impartial.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
More concerned with what Troy wants, since it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, just the DevOps students wouldn't have seen this, but the full stack may have seen it. But what about just the DevOps students?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
In that manner, in fact, I'm going faster as well, I believe, because I'm referencing a lot of the concepts you may already know. So anyway, I think I will take this lesson then. Okay. I will take the concept and I will show it to you. Okay. So what we have seen so far, and yeah, Troy, and I believe there was one more student, one or two more students. I'm forgetting their name. So you know,
Phil and then Natalia, but Phil is very versed in this.
yeah,
But
very
Natalia is
well.
not here today.
Natalia is, yeah, she told me that she won't be here, it seems. So, but that's okay. Yeah, so Troy, I think your vote is the veto vote here. Okay, you said no, then lesson will happen. Okay.
Well, thanks. Let's go for it.
Yeah, yeah. See, even in the United Nations Security Council, there are 5 people with vetoes. Okay. In this class, there is, at least in this class, there is just one person who has veto. Okay. It's a lot of power with you, Troy. Okay. So what we were looking at so far right now is the way how you can get response from the Django framework. Okay, the application itself. But this is not the standard way how Django works, because you know actual Django application project is actually collection of multiple applications. You have many apps. Some of the times those apps will be predefined. Some of the times you create those applications. Those applications you see actually here, installed apps. You can see these are also apps actually, but they are predefined. They are coming default. Okay, this one we created. So if you want any request being served by any application, in that case, we should define that in this URLs. Okay. So now we will go ahead and create this. Okay. So there is a good amount of learning content given here. Okay. I'll request all of you to please go ahead and read them. But you know, I would probably just go ahead and give the demo first and then talk about it. So essentially what it is talking about is that a Django REST framework. So when Django came, actually it was serving the backend itself. It was using the Django templating concept and serving the content itself. But later what happened is that many of the people, in fact, started using Django just for the backend purpose, not serving the application. They will have the front end hosted somewhere else, or they would have other applications, middlewares, making requests to your backend application. So for all such kind of use cases, you would be actually using Django, okay, with Django REST framework, which is the RESTful way, which is the way to use the same concept, same development you have done in a REST format. It will help you to create APIs, RESTful APIs, and make requests. So let's go over this. So essentially, we will be creating a URL path. So please go ahead and read about it. There's a good amount of learning given here. Django REST framework. It is very, very big and very, very popular. Okay. I believe maybe 50% or 70% of the Django application would actually be Django REST framework based on. Okay. So please use that. I believe you may also be using this only in your project, personal project or something. Okay, but regardless, I think we will go ahead and talk about how Django REST framework helps us to achieve this. So what we have seen so far is that you can create URL patterns like squares, triangles, and get the data. But this one was the application directly. We will be using new application to respond to our request. How does that happen? For that, you will be writing the API path, request path as before. So you have gotten the request path here. Okay. After that, you will use this import called include, and then you will include the application you created. Okay. So let's copy this one, okay, and let's try to include that. So what I'm going to add is another path pattern. Okay. And this pattern is actually the V1, version 1 of the API. Okay. You can see it is complaining that include is not there. So include comes from here. Okay. So you will add the include here. Okay. Once you have added that, what you will have to do is you will have to create URL pattern. So for that, you will go to your actual application, the Pokemon application, and there you will add urls.py. So if you see, this is our Pokemon app, and we don't have urls.py here from earlier. So we'll go and create this one. Okay. So urls.py is created. We will now create this pattern. Okay. So what essentially this pattern is that we are telling whenever the request comes, there is nothing given here, no path or anything, then the root path. Any request comes, it should go to this function called all Pokemon. Okay. So can someone tell me what is the importance of this? Why are we giving this? All Django experts, please.
It the name just identifies the URL pattern. So like if you
Isn't that like a callback for like when you want to refer back to that, like especially for testing?
Okay. So I think I think both of them are correct, but what exactly is in fact more important purpose, I would probably check. But I think both of you are, I think, correct. But I will again check. Okay. I'm also not 100% sure what is the main purpose of it. I think referencing is definitely the more main use case. But anyway, so we have created this URL pattern. Okay. Now, whatever request comes, it will go to this all Pokemons. But we need to define it first. Then only we can use it, right? So, example, you can see that if we run this right now, it will throw us error. So if you see here, yeah, no, okay. there is one more error. No module in Pokemon app.urls. Isn't it there? Okay, it seems that it has missed to give this, I guess. We need to give this one as well. Let's go here. We need to import from Pokemon app, import URLs, right? Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, let's see. Pokemon_app.url. Pokemon app URL. Okay, yeah. So this fixed that issue. The next issue is that this URL is complaining there is no all Pokemon function created. So we have to go to our views and create the function first. So, okay. Okay, so for that we have to do a lot of things. Okay, let's hold. We will do that later. It seems we will do that later. What it is saying is that let's go and add this one first. So we are telling our project to include this add a URL pattern with the empty path. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we did this already. Okay. So now we will go and create this, that all Pokemon, this one, it is complaining that it is not found. All Pokemon, because your views is empty, right? It is complaining that this is error. So let's go and do that. So what we need to do is that we need to actually create some sample data. So the way how it has done is, okay, let's import it first here. And I'm not sure this is how it should be, but I believe it should be this way. And you will go ahead and write this one. Right. So you have all Pokemon. And it is using this. And for this, yeah. Pokemon.object. What is this for? Okay, anyway, yeah. So we have gotten this function which will respond whenever the request comes, okay, on this particular URL. Okay.
I'm not sure, Chandra. I don't know if the view is if there was a trying to get that JSON as a response. So maybe that JSON needs to be created and put in the project. I didn't
think,
quite.
yeah, I think we will see. I was also
I was reading it, but I didn't see it.
right. I was also not sure why it is giving this sample. I think it is just a sample it is saying. We have already one data. If everything is correct, then it should return a data. Yeah. If issues, we will see. Okay. So right now this application is up here. Let's go ahead and make the request on this path. So this will prove if everything is correct. Oh yeah, it is working. So we got the response coming, and this response is coming right from the database. So you have essentially built a complete backend application which accepts the request coming from on a URL and hits the database, grabs the value, and gives you the response. Sounds good? So this is what we had, right? This is the Pokemon that we have. His name is Blastoise. We got this Blastoise. It has level 1 and it can move this move. Okay. If you add more values, it will give you more response like this. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So we built the complete Django app. We will continue on. Or are we over the time? I think we should go for a break, right? It's an hour, 15 minutes. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about a stretch. So let's go for, in fact, a longer break. Let's go for 15 minutes break, everyone. Once we return, we will start from here. All right, so if everyone is here, let's start. I think we have pretty much covered most of the things. Okay. And okay. All right, so let's continue now. So what we saw so far is that using this method, using this function, we can query the data in our database and get the response. And this is very simple. You can see that we are using this serializer, the Pokemon serializer that we have created here. And essentially it is just taking the data and it is giving us the data, and that we are returning as JSON response, as simple as that. Okay. So this is our Pokemon function. And now if you see the next thing that we have, that is this way, if you do, okay, you can only make the GET request, as you can see. Okay. If you have to make a POST request and all that, you have to handle manually. So this is the reason that Django gives you a different way. Django REST framework has API view concept. So using API view, actually, you can define different types of methods, the different types of methods with which you can make the request. For example, get request, post request, put request. So that will have a loop now. Okay. So what we will do is that let's comment out this one. Okay. And let's create a new class view. Okay, the API view. So for this, we will go ahead and in fact, let me keep this code as it is. And let me add a new code from here. Okay. So this is again importing Pokemon model, again using the serializer, but it is now using the API view coming from the REST framework. Okay, so with this, we have gotten this API view. And now the difference that you see here is that here you will writing the get method yourself. Now you are not writing the get method. Okay, what you are doing is you are actually just defining the get method inside this API view class. And you will still get the same response. Okay, now there is one thing that we have to fix the URL, because we are not using the methods anymore, functions anymore. So we will go to our URLs here, and instead of this all Pokemon function, okay, let's comment out this and we'll be using this one. Okay, so we'll be using this one. So now you can see that we are importing all Pokemon, and this is what you see is as a view. So this is API view, not the function itself that we were putting. If you do this, then I think you're pretty much set. Your function should work as it is, as it was working before. So we'll click on this one. Template doesn't exist. Let's see what is going on. template doesn't exist.
It's just looking for your HTML template.
Oh, do we need to define that here? Essentially.
You got it. You create the folder, and then in the folder you write your templates, and then you just need the basic HTML to render.
Okay, so we got
You
this.
use the boilerplate.
And yeah. Okay. It has not given the
Yeah, I
HTML.
don't see one. Yeah, I don't see a template anywhere.
I think that is the different one. That is like the Django templating where you create the HTML with data variables defined with the blocks, right? Okay, I think it is very basic. I am forgetting just how to do this. Oh, you make sure you have this framework in your installed apps. I think that's what we need to do actually. So we go here and we add this here. Okay, now we are good now. So you can see you are making the request and you are getting the same response now. Okay, so now you see the UI has changed. It is using the Django REST framework standard UI. So the benefit that you got but is you can now define different types of methods, say get, post, put, all kinds of methods you can define here. So you don't have to manually handle this. Django will handle it for you. Okay, everyone with me so far? Okay. So with this, we have, yeah, so now you can go ahead and you can define this one as well. So for example, I think you can go ahead and you can include this one in this one as well. This was moves, this is this one. And I think you can go here and you can add move app. So we have added both the apps. Similarly, I will go to move app. I will go to its. I will have to create a urls.py here as well. So I will go here and create urls.py. And here I would define it this way. All moves. And we will have to create a view. So our view should be like this. So this is our view. So again, here it has the get request. And hopefully if you make a request now, okay, what is the problem? Okay, move app.urls. So it seems somewhere it means to define. So this is the URL pattern. This is our URL. Move app. Import. Oh, we need to define it here. URL.
I don't think you have to define it there. But do you mind going back to the project URLs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks right.
I think something we are just missing to import. From here, request will go to this one. We got all moves. All moves is defined here. All moves as view. All moves.
Oh, I think do you mind go back to the project URLs again?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh no, it's in there.
Oh, I think we need to add the URL patterns. Oh no, that is there. Okay, your patterns. I think probably I just need to restart. Oh yeah. Okay. So if we make this request now, you can see that it is finding all the moves that is there and responding. So we had only one Pokemon, we had only one move, so you see only that. But if you had more, then you can see more. But the Django REST framework gives you this benefit that you can actually now make a request with not only get, if you had put, post, delete, all those requests can be seen actually here. Okay. So with this, essentially we created the APIs to interact with our database. Any questions? All right. Okay, so this is the last lesson that we have. Okay, and with this Django will be finished. Okay, you have already seen the lessons before. This will be the last one, and this is going to be the static files. Okay, so
So Chandra,
yeah,
would you be able to show us a post and just do a demo on that?
yeah, we can do that. I think.
Thank you.
So let's in fact go and write. I would also need to refer the standard. So let's say that we go and create a method here. Okay. So I think here we will have to write. So I will have to refer the documentation, or does anyone have this written? Phil, do you have the put, post, delete, and all those methods written? If anyone has, please share. So REST framework. Set. In fact, let's do the post method. Okay. So we will see what is the standard format. Does anyone have it so that I don't have to do the heavy lifting? Phil, if you have it.
I'm trying to find mine.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so let's try to create this. Okay, this will also be a good time for me to refer. So what essentially the way how this works, it seems, is that you have to write define and you have to write the type. Okay, this will be post, and then this self will be the reference, and this will be the request. Okay, so you put the request here. Okay, and you go ahead, and after this you will have to get the value. Okay, so for example, the Pokemon that we have, okay, the Pokemon has, this is the Pokemon, right? The Pokemon has a name and it has a level. Okay, it seems, okay. So Nika has given the put, Nika has given, okay. Thank you, Nika. Nika, do you have the post as well? I see the put.
I'm still looking, sorry.
Okay, no worries. I think they should also help actually. Okay, so Nika, okay. Okay, so Nika has all. Okay, thank you, Nika. So I think what we can do is we can use one of this example. So Nika has given all the three methods. Thank you, Nika, for saving time for us. So let's take example of post. So what this one will do is it will take the request data and it will create a new Pokemon. Okay. And it will check if this new Pokemon is valid. If it is valid, it will save it. Very simple, very nice. Okay, so let's try to fit in. I believe it should fit directly. So this will go and collect the data from the request itself. And then if post is valid, it will save this and it will respond with the creator 201. Okay, let me see if I have the Postman installed. So I think I should have the, so I believe all of you know Postman. Okay, Postman is a very popular tool for requesting testing applications. And the person who has created Postman, the founder, he is my senior. He is a few years senior to me. Okay, he's also my Facebook friend.
Small world.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, definitely. He has become a very big guy now.
Oh,
But he was like a senior, at least, I believe, 5-6 years senior or 10 years senior to me. He's very senior to me as well. But we are alumni of the same college. We studied in the same college.
wow.
Okay, so but irony is I don't have Postman installed. At one point of time, I uninstalled it because when they launched this native app, they launched the native app and you had to create the account, workspace. They made the enterprise version of everything. I was frustrated with that and I installed it. And I don't need it on a regular basis, so it is kind of working for me. But I don't have Postman, seriously. I should have Postman as an honor to my senior. Okay, so I don't have a Postman, sorry. So what I will have to do is that I will probably be using probably curl for that. So let me see, what is our method? I can use, I can make a curl request for this. What is in this? Essentially, it has a name and label. Okay. Okay. Name and label. You may be thinking that Chandra doesn't remember anything or uses this for everything. So actually, thing is that you don't have to remember many of these things. You need to know the concept. But yeah, actually, if you know, that is good, but I have forgotten many of the things now. So I think the way how this format is, this is the format, I think, that you have -x, localhost this. What is the path? So this is Pokemon. So we will go to this one, /Pokemon, /Pokemon -d, and here you give the data actually. So I think the way how data is, we will give name is equal to we have to give the new name for this Pokemon. And so let's say the new name is Jarvi, and level of this is, let's say, level 2. I'm not 100% sure if this works, but let's see. I think it did not work. So let me parallel install Postman install. I think I can do that. Post -x -d. Okay, I think I gave the wrong format. What I can do here is I can give dash and dash, and here I can use curly brace and give name, and now I can feel how important tool Postman is to give label. Actually don't give equal, you give colon, and you give 2, and you close the curly brace. Do like this. I'm not sure if it is 100% correct. Level 2. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm not sure. Again, going back, I have Apple chip. Okay, let's put this one. Name is Jarvi. Level is level 2. Wait a second. What is it? Oh, the error. Listen. And we can do this one again. With this one at data dot -x post clone 8000 slash what is the path? Path is this one. I don't know what is this error. Okay, so let's try this one. So this is our API endpoint. This is post, and our body, let's say this one is raw JSON, and let's use the body, this one. And again, if you see anything is wrong, please let me know. 8,000, yes. Yeah, now we'll see what is the error at least coming. Oh, come on, I was not looking here. It's not defined. So what I would need to do is I can probably just get away from this right now. Let's, for example, let's just return the data. Not that standard code. Let's just use that. Oh yeah. Okay. So this way, Cassandra, you can actually create a new Pokemon. So you can see the ID is 4 and the name is Jarvi, level is 2, moves has not been defined. Okay, so you need to again create a new method for creating moves and all. And the way how we created this post, the same way Nika has given the code. Let me put that. In fact, I will commit this code. And then Nika is kind of helping me out, all out. So the way how it is this, you need to actually import here. And let me so this is the complete post request, everyone. Okay, that Nika has given, and I have so this is status. This is 2014 created. Okay, and then this is for if you get any kind of, oh no, I put it in the wrong place. No, yeah, here actually. Yeah, so this will return as a status created, and then this will return as the status bad request. Okay, and the way how you have gotten the post, similarly you can go ahead and create the delete, and this is the delete one. Okay, and this is the post put one, and yeah, so this way you can actually have, so it works in the same way. You can see that it is using a serializer, and if it is valid, then it is going safe. This one is in fact even simpler. You have gotten this one and just delete. So you got the object and you just write delete, and like this you can go ahead and define all of that. I will go ahead and commit this code, and I will give this code if that helps. Okay, and thank you again, Nika, for helping me out all out in this, and highly appreciate it, because otherwise
Thank you both.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, so this way we just have a look on how to create APIs for making and doing this request. Now, okay, yeah, I think, okay, yeah, so the name Nika is saying should be this one. Okay, we can do that. If you do this, you have to change this one here, this one here.
Oh, I was just saying for the delete and put, I had grabbed those from a Pokemon, but it looked like the first one that you had was
Mhm.
for all Pokemon. So I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah, no, you're correct. Yeah, it works in the same way. Not a problem. All right, so with this, probably we will be done with this one. Okay, and now what we can probably continue on with is the static files. Okay, so okay, any questions so far? Okay, so what I would suggest is that static files one, this one is also, I believe, easier. We can do this one as well. I think I have this already somewhere created, but that's okay. I will do this again. Okay. All right. So let's do this. That I think we got a good lesson today. Okay. What we can now do in the afternoon, probably, if you want, I can walk you through this lesson. Okay. Otherwise, we can just open this, open the breakout room, and you can start working on your projects or anything. And I will return back probably in half an hour. I will upload this recording. And if you want to follow this lesson, we can then follow that lesson, or we can follow this in the afternoon. Okay.
Chandra, I have a
Yeah.
question for
Sure.
some type of resource. So we're building out a system, and I was wondering if you had an overall end state system diagram, something to help me connect the dots between where Django sits and its relationship to Postgres and where Flask comes in, and sort of help me to get the overall. So then when we, I think when we move into cloud architecture, it'll help me understand the.
Yeah, definitely. No, what you're saying is definitely very important. And let me quickly, in fact, try to explain you. Okay. I know that a better diagram or a video could probably help more, but quickly, since your question came, so I want to probably cover. So try, in fact,
Yeah, thank you.
maybe everyone understands this, but quickly I will try to answer the question that Troy had. So this is your presentation layer, okay? And this is normal 3-tier app, okay? Normally there are more tiers like middleware, other. So this is a normal 3-tier app, Troy, okay? So what essentially you have here is that this is a presentation layer that you generally see. So, and this is what users use, end users use. But normally we have the UI. Right now you don't have UI, but normally you have a UI front end. User makes a request on this UI. You click a button. For example, we were opening this one. Okay, so I will in fact see this one later, but this is the UI. You actually click a button here, vote again. The moment you click vote again, what essentially it does is it makes the request to your application layer. In this case, for example, you can think like this is your presentation layer. Someone goes and say that, hey, I want to see list of all the Pokemons. Or let's say someone say that I want to create a new Pokemon, okay? And its name is Niva and level is, let's say, 5, okay? Someone goes and makes a request. Okay, I stopped the server, so it failed. It will go and create the Pokemon. So this becomes your presentation layer. But the moment you click a button, that request goes to your backend. That is called the application layer. Okay, that is the views we were creating. Okay, I mean, actually the URL and then the views. Okay,
This is Django, right? And the
This is
associated apps within Django. Okay, yeah.
this is your Django coming in picture. So far, it was your front end. Actually, in simple manner, we can say Django, but in actual, what will happen is you will have load balancers, you will have unicorn and all. But in simple term, you can understand it is your Django. The moment Django gets a request that, okay, I need to create a new Pokemon, it will take the data. How it will take the data? We just saw that in the code here. Is that it will go and take the data here, okay? And this data, and it will check if the data is valid or not. If the data is valid, it will go and create that new Pokemon. Okay. And that data will now be saved in your database layer. So this goes to the third layer. Now the backward. You are making the request to see list of all Pokemons. You are clicking button. For example, see my bank balance. You click button, right? Check my balance in your bank app. Moment you click app, request goes to your Django. Django says that, is this user correct? Is this request correct? it will go and check in the database. Is the value there? It will go and fetch the value like this, and it will respond with the data.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. I was hoping you might have the specifics to what application we would be hosting later in the course.
Mhm.
So, as we look at scaling and we look at, the actual, so I know some of the dev folks coming in are going to be trying to host their own application. And then for us who don't have the previous course, we'll be presumably given an application to host.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
Okay.
So this is the essential core part of DevOps. So this development that you saw, it is just the development part. Okay. This is not at all in deployment. Once, yeah, so don't worry about that picture still. Once we go
Okay.
in DevOps lessons, then those pictures will come in front of you. For example, the load balancer you said. Okay. So what will happen is that this application layer is very critical. You cannot have this run on only one server. This is where the question you were raising, load balancer will come in picture. You will say that, you know what, one application layer is not enough. Let's say this was one server. You will put two more servers, three servers, and this becomes your load balancer. So when the request is coming from this presentation layer, it will go to this layer and load balancer will decide one of this server will get the request.
Okay.
And
so we'll stay with Django into that phase, right? We'll stay with.
we'll go there. Right? We will go
Okay.
there. We're just building the ground right now. So
Yeah.
those pictures will come in, in more clear format once we go through the DevOps. DevOps has not started yet. DevOps is not starting till we finish actually the AWS. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Sure.
And Chandra, would you agree that a lot of what they'll see is a lot of Flask apps and other stacks as well?
Yeah, and it is not Django. Thank you for reminding, Chad. Actually, the way we have designed curriculum, that you will get flavors of all different types of, program languages and framework. You will see Python Django, you will see Flask, you will see normal HTML, you will see React, you will see Node.js, you will also see Express. You will also see Java, you will also see Java Spring. Okay, so we have at least 7-8 flavors of the applications coming for you. Okay, all the web dev people, you are coming with just knowledge of Django and all, but that is a good place, but you have more frameworks to learn as well during DevOps. Sounds good.
But Troy, you won't be expected to do any of the language coding. It's more like look at these applications, go to the configuration file and configure it for launch. Or maybe there's some hard-coded URLs you need to like get environment variables or stuff in place. That's all you're kind of going to be doing.
It's perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, that's very comforting. Chad, what you said is those who do not have the development experience, it is not like DevOps is only for people with development experience. You need to know framework, you need to have a basic understanding. That's all. You don't need to write the code. Never in this course will tell you to write a code for an app. It is your wish, it is your will. But what I'm in fact showing right now is not the DevOps program. You will have no assessment asking you to write this code. There is no assessment, no capstone, no assignment asking you this. Okay. And I have designed this curriculum in and out from everything. So I know every piece of the things, and we are still working to improve it. In fact, I'm getting less time to do that. I had a lot of things, but there is no place you will have that situation coming from.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Chad, for filling the gaps.
Of course.
All right. So I think we had good lesson from the morning itself. Continuously, we had, I think, over 3.5 hours of continuous lessons. I think this is a lot for today. So we will finish the session now. In the afternoon, probably, if time permits, we will see this If time does not permit, or if you feel exhausted, I think this is a lot for today. We will cover this in the next class. I will tell Julius to teach this. Okay. All right. So with this, I will open the breakout rooms, everyone. And primarily, I believe all of you should be focusing on these 2-3 things. One of that is if you are lagging behind in your personal project, your capstone is very important. Get your whiskey Platoon commitments completed. Be on timeline. I'm not saying finish today. Be on time. Then the next priority thing is your certifications. Get your cert before you touch AWS. That is best. If at all, that week is forgiven if you can follow. Third is this Django. If you get time, then Django practice back this, and that's it. Okay, so I have opened the breakout room, everyone. Okay, and I would go ahead and upload this recording. And thank you, everyone, for making this class so wholesome. We are just getting ready for DevOps lessons, and exciting times will be coming ahead. And I appreciate everyone's participations, questions, and everything. Thank you, Chad and Nika, especially for your help. And I'll be probably stepping out for 15-20 minutes of break. Otherwise, if you don't see me here, ping me on Slack. I will jump in, and I need to exit to get the recording. I will upload the recording in the same file. Okay. And yeah. All right. Okay, everyone. So let's go for 15 minutes break. Once you return from break, you can start working on your project, cert, or the assignment. All right.